This is Susan Bassey, and this is our most important investigative audit to date.
I'm gonna walk away.
There's a body buried in the back. They're digging up. All this stuff is going on right now. Welcome to Los Gatos and outside the Apple store, everybody. They have private security. They were about to go hands-on that guy.
Okay.
Or do you live in Los Gatos?
No, I'm from Northern California.
I have a YouTube channel. You can see this on YouTube. My name is
good.
Susan Bassey.
So this phone, right?
No, it's not phony.
What's going on?
We were walking down the street because we're going to the back because there's a body buried in the back that they're exhuming for a homicide investigation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's in the alley. We're on our way back there, and we stopped by, and this private security guards put gloves on like they were going to go hands-on that guy, and I happen to be investigating. Oh, this cop's filming me right now, so I got to film him. He's filming on his...
That because that is a threat. So I'm gonna put my hands on you.
myself because I use different words.
I'm gonna put you in handcuffs and I'm gonna drive you down to the emergency psychiatric services center.
Where's your gun?
If you fight,
You're threatening
we're
me.
gonna
You
defend
might as well
ourselves.
do that.
Okay? Put your hands behind your back.
Are you getting this?
Put your hands behind.
Got
Did
it.
you film all of this?
Yep.
Did you see how they're threatening me and trying to put me away from doing nothing? How am I a threat? Can you not touch me? Can you not touch me?
Exactly. You don't want this to go this way. Put your hand behind your back.
That's what I'm saying. How am I a threat? You have to explain to me why you're doing this. Just like the fucking first time this happened. Why am I calm now? This isn't legal. Why can't I calm down? Who am I now? Can you even tell the difference? Why did this guy's hair egg over the top? Can you explain? It's not even how you cuff someone in handcuffs. So I have to reteach you guys how to handcuff someone. You know, it's trying to take lesson 5. Take lesson.
Just want to document this.
No problem. So I just want to review your request with you. Some of the things you're asking for are a little bit broad, so I'm going to help a little bit. For officer assignments from 2010 to 2019, what are you talking about? Rank?
I'm
or-
talking about what officers are assigned to the Los Gatos Police Department for that 10-year period.
So a roster.
A roster, yes.
Training policies is self-explanatory. Public records related to officers.
Silva, Jonathan Silva, that's a matter of public interest.
Okay, what is Jennifer?
Brandonini, she's the one that was involved in the Blossom Hill accident.
Okay, Los Gatos Little League, is there something?
I want to know, you
specific?
guys were, Judge Dancer was indicted for rigging traffic court cases for people involved in Los Gatos Little League. And I also have orders that should look like there's some issues related to Boy Scouts. So if you guys have officers that are involved in getting appointed to committees or anything that you're aware of that would be a public record, I'm looking for that.
So that's what you mean by like secondary?
Yeah, like a secondary
Okay, so-
employment or an appointment to a committee or a volunteer that you guys give an award for or anything like that. I want to know.
So like off duty, like is,
Yes.
if we had someone coaching?
Yes,
Okay.
and I know that you guys sometimes sponsor teams and do things that maybe emails or some kind of promotion or an award at the town managers chambers might be recognized. I want any of that. The Brandadini one is newsworthy and it's you know, I'm not asking just for these records. I know they're broad. I don't know what I want in them, which is why I asked to inspect them, and I don't understand
What
why.
I'm just trying to do is just to figure out exactly.
Okay.
Jason
Lugresi, he was criminally prosecuted related to a rape and sexual assault case that arose out of Los Gatos. and I have the police reports, and I'm looking for any information that would be public. The case has since been closed by the DA, so they're not investigative records, they would be public records. LUG. And so I'm looking for calls for service. In fact, I know there was a domestic violence call in 2012 to the address of the Lugracies.
Okay.
I have the police report. I'm looking for the calls for service and anything else that would have been documented related to that case.
Dispatch recordings.
Dispatch recordings, right.
Any and all?
Any and all communications with the district attorneys that would not be subject to being claimed to be confidential or investigative because it's been closed.
Okay. So these records are gonna take time to research. I can get back with you. I think someone tried to ask you earlier if you wanted to provide an email address. You don't have to.
So here's what I want.
Okay.
Here's what I want. The government code says I should be able to walk in. Think Erin Brockovich. She got to walk in and copy those records. I'm having difficulty why these records aren't publicly available. And so I want to know.
I'm not saying they're not publicly available. I'm saying we have to conduct the research and compile the response.
I'm not asking under the code that requires the 10 days to wait. I'm asking under the code that requires you guys to give me access to them in normal business hours immediately.
Well, we
Promptly.
maintain that we have 10 days to produce these records.
And I maintain that the law doesn't say that.
So we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
This is Susan Bassey, and this is not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing. This is a matter of law. And this is a public court file. When we discovered that James Towery was setting family law cases in his courtroom at midnight when the courthouse is otherwise closed, this became a matter of public interest. And James Towery is quickly becoming known as the Midnight Cowboy Judge for holding secret hearings and for his conduct with police officers in the county, including police officers employed with the Los Gatos Police Department, where we are entitled to public records to conduct our investigation.
What you're
It's gonna
saying?
take us time to conduct the research, evaluate your request, and then compile.
I
the
will give you
response.
my email address. I'm documenting that you did not comply with the Public Records Act.
Okay.
That's 6253A and B of the Government Code in California. My email address is gilroybassey@gmail.com. You can also reach me at Los Gatos.
Hold on. Gilroy B.
BASSI.
Okay. Gmail.
Yes.
Okay.
And what is your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, what is your last name?
Tada. TADA.
TADA?
Mhm.
And are you a clerk?
Records and Communications Manager.
Okay.
Were you starting to give me a phone number?
My phone number is 831-320-6421.
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Take care.
Right.
No, not on a,
Ask those.
not on a public, not in California on a
When
public
was that in
sidewalk.
the States?
It's public policy, sir. Google films you every day.
1853.
Officer, I'm going to need your name and badge number because you filmed me and I want to be able to get those records. I'm going to need your name and badge number. And also, officer, you did a very nice job with him. Very nice job on your training. I'm getting you guys' training, and these are difficult issues, and I appreciate that. He did a really good job today. Nice job on trying to get him to talk. Mental health and homeless are clearly issues in our community, and we all got to figure out how to address them. Thank you, officer. Appreciate it. You are Officer.
And while I didn't have the department's formal training policies, I observed Officer Lowe trying to de-escalate the situation, and I believed that he was doing the right thing.
And you are Officer.
Officer Bond, on the other hand, exuded attitude that was consistent with what other people in Los Gatos had told me they had observed from Los Gatos police over the last 20 years.
And you are.
Officer Hoyt,
And how did you know who I was?
you've written to me before.
What did I write to you about?
Various different things.
Branadini?
I don't know who that person is.
Jennifer Branadini and the hit and run on Blossom Hill Avenue?
I don't recognize the name, but when was the
I don't think I've written to Los Gatos Police before.
you wrote to the Los Gatos Police Officers Association?
Now, even if that were true, it would seem highly unlikely that he would know my name just simply because I had written to the Police Officers Association.
I'm a longtime Los Gatos resident.
Got it.
And I am investigating Officer Silva's hiring and resignation. Deputy, please don't get rid of any of those photographs you took of me on that phone. Was that a department phone or a personal phone?
That was my personal phone.
Okay, I'm going to need those records. I want to know what you did with my picture, and I want to know who's in your contact list.
Don't delete it.
Thank you.
Federal law, if you.
Yeah, please don't delete it. I'm currently involved in a situation with the local district attorney, and that is now evidence in a criminal and a federal case.
Okay. Nice job out there.
Susan Bassey, and I'm the former print publisher of my Out and About magazine that was based here in Los Gatos. I used to promote events like your Music in the Park, and my magazine got sold to the Metro in 2015. And I have since got formal training and experience as an investigative reporter. I now work as a freelance investigative reporter with all the mainstream media outlets. I have been an expert on public records requests, and I am an expert on investigating family courts. And that has taken us to our local family courts. In my expertise in most recent months has focused on police misconduct and SB 1421 and public records. I am currently working on an investigative project that's taken 5 years, and this project is going to be covered by mainstream media outlets. It's going to be a docuseries. It's going to be widespread media attention, and Los Gatos is not going to be proud of what we found. I think the most shocking to me is that I moved here in 2010, and so I'm speaking to you tonight as in my personal capacity and my professional capacity. I'm Ms. Spector, and I have been shocked and appalled at your association with James Towery and Hogue Fenton. My investigation is focused on private judging, and that will be a separate issue, but the more important issue is the human trafficking issue involving an immigrant that is about to becoming an international story. Our investigation began in 2002 with the indictment of William Dancer, who was fixing traffic court tickets with Los Gatos police members, officers, and members of the Los Gatos Little League. We then moved to 2007 when the city of Los Gatos and other cities and towns in the county were sued for public records requests related in the Neymark case, which is a published legal decision, and I'm assuming your town council will be addressing these issues. In 2010, I started investigating domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse issues in Santa Clara County. Our child abuse hotline audit shows that the phone wasn't even answered. And if you're not watching the Netflix documentary series about LA County, you should be, because the vicarious liability that is going to come to this town based on what has happened and the international stories that are about to break is significant. Our investigation focuses on James Towery and Jeff Rosen, but I want you to know that today I spent over 6 hours trying to get public records from the Los Gatos Police Department, and the city is just simply violating California's Government Code 6253A. They're not giving me access to records which I'm entitled to get when I walk into the office. This is an international story. You're obstructing media, you're obstructing the press, and you're obstructing a very important investigation. And this may be a Neymark case revisited. So if you have any questions for me, I've documented my journey today. We posted it live on YouTube. There's already over 4,000 views on it. My videos on my YouTube channel are being used by mainstream media for part of this investigation. It will be a professional production. And what has gone on in this
Ms.
town-
Bassey, your 3 minutes are up. We'll look for you on YouTube. Thank you.
Family members.
Whatever this is all about, I'm just trying to.
And for the past several months, I have struggled to try to explain what's going on in California's divorce and custody cases where there are attorneys acting as private judges. And I thought this would be an excellent opportunity to try to do that a little bit better. Because you see, private judges are essentially lawyers or retired judges. Much like these security guards, they are privately paid. Just as these security guards are paid by Apple, they do not have jurisdiction over the man standing on the sidewalk. And yet that doesn't prevent these security guards from attempting to breach their jurisdiction. I caught this one security guard who's standing behind me on the camera putting on gloves as if he intended to go hands-on the man before they called for the police. Had we not been there, they might have done just that. And that's what's happening in our family courts. These lawyers are acting as judges. They're dragging divorce cases out for decades. They're charging families hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're issuing orders that result in the sale of the family homes and custody of children being taken from parents. And imagine if you were standing not on a public sidewalk or in a public court, but in one of these secret courts where nobody was watching.
Sir, I'm an investigative reporter. Do you mind telling me what's going on here?
Are you filming me?
I'm filming, we film police misconduct, and we're investigating the police around here. I know these are private security, but I'm just wondering what's happening. This is a public sidewalk.
You know, filming is a private right.
At the outset, most people think that private judging sounds like a good idea.
There are those who think that by not talking, you can limit the bad publicity.
I believe the ultimate evil is seeing what's wrong and looking away when you have a power to make the difference. That is true evil.
Hi, this is Jason.
Jason, this is Susan Bassey, and I'm on a recorded line, and you don't have to speak if you don't want.